So now, I want to show you a little book that I have up here. Who is Lord of the Abzu? Abzu is Africa. It also means land. But the god Ea, who's also known as Enki, whose Sumerian equivalent was Enki, is one of the three most powerful gods in the Mesopotamian pantheon, along with Anu and Enlil. Anu is the dad. Enlil is his brother, it's his stepbrother. So you see where Enki and Enlil are stepbrothers. And they have this family sibling rivalry going on, where one hates man and one is creating man. He resides in the ocean underneath the earth called the Abzu, which was an important place in Mesopotamian cosmic geography. For example, the city Babylon was said to have been built on top of the Abzu. So you can see the picture here of Enki and Enlil. Sumerian texts about Enki often include overly sexual portrayals of his virile masculinity. In particular, there is a metaphorical link between the life-giving properties of the god semen and the animate nature of fresh water in the Absu. So he's the god of the water, and they make all these equivalations to him. But the interesting thing is, as I showed you before, when you look at Uranus and Gaia, the ancient Greek gods, they were all having sex with each other, and they were having sex with men. So when you read the story in the Bible where that the sons of God came down, had sex with women, all that they could, and produced a giant, you can see how this is happening, and you can see evidence right here that Enki and Enlil were involved with the same things. So until recently, however, many of the more explicit details have been suppressed in modern translations because their sexual perversion, these guys were like major pedophiles, which is not uncommon today in Freemasonry. So here you have these two reptilians. The one on the left is Enki, the one on the right is Enlil. Just like the Bible says that there would be hateful birds in Revelation 18, the hateful birds. These are the hateful birds. Okay, what else are they known for? Incantations, wisdom, and cleaners. Ea has associated with wisdom, magic, and incantations. He was a favored god amongst diviners and exorcist priests, as he is the ultimate source of all ritual knowledge used by exorcists to avert and expel evil. Well, okay, these are the first gods on the earth, right? Why do they have to do exorcisms? Oh, so demons are real. Even the first societies discovered that. And Ea, which is known as Enki, was one of the chief craftsmen. Notice they call it the Ea has patron of the arts and crafts. And this is why in the Bible they refer to exorcists as carpenters, as you see in 1 Zechariah 1:18. His connection with water meant that Ea was also the patron deity of cleaners. I don't know how to make the association. But do you notice anything interesting about this picture? Oops.
The other one have pine cones.
Excellent, Todd. That is a pine cone. That's your pineal gland. And I've always stressed that, look, the Anunnaki, they were the drug lords of the universe. And how did they keep you in slavery and work in the mines? With drugs. And when you go to my page on pineal gland, you'll find that I show you all the connections of the Anunnaki and the pine cone, and then the mines and the corn cob. It's all about hallucinating drugs, so you can loosen up your pineal gland so you can astral travel, because you too can be gods. Yes?
The one on the right has two faces facing east and west, or opposite of each other.
That's not his hair. I think that's his hair. Okay, so here's another picture. Creator and protector of humanity. Ea is the creator. In fact, it's funny you bring that up because one of the gods is Janus, which is a two-faced god, which incidentally is the god behind Barack Hussein Obama. Because he'll tell the public one thing and turn right around and do the opposite and not even apologize or explain it. And that's the spirit of Juno. Janus, sorry. Ea is the creator and protector of humanity in the Babylonian flood myth, Atrahasis, and the Epic of Gilgamesh. He has the plan to create humans out of clay so that they can perform work for the gods. The gods came down, they're digging these gold mines, and they didn't like the hard work, they didn't like the plan. They rebelled. So AS, I have a solution. We'll take this Neanderthal man, we'll tweak his DNA, we'll jump up his evolution, and we'll make him slaves. So the only thing the Anunnaki, Satan, and Lucifer ever offer you is to be better slaves. We'll make them bigger, stronger, faster. You are the $6 million slave. But the supreme god Enlil attempted to destroy Ea's newly created humans with a devastating flood, because their never-ending noise prevented him from sleeping. But clever Ea foresaw Enlil's plan, and he instructed a sage named Atrahasis to build an ark so that humanity could escape to destruction. Now, this is obviously a very interesting story. If you've ever read the Epic of Gilgamesh, I have a copy if you want. I put it on the sacred textbooks. It's very interesting. It's almost the identical story of Noah. But he leaves out the story of the rainbow. And that's a really key issue because they didn't have rainbows before that. There's no recorded rainbow in history prior to the flood. And God says he did it because of the wickedness of man. He's going to destroy all man. So you can see where Enlil, who wants to lift his throne up to be God, would steal that story. And I think that's exactly what happened. I think that's just more Anunnaki spin. You can see here pictures of this picture right here. You see the Anunnaki reptilians on the end? In the center is their shape-shifted form. And in the very center, see these two men? That's Enki and Enlil. And see this right here? You know what that is, right? It's DNA. And above it is their father, the god Anu, and he flew around in a spaceship. And that's all in the Anunnaki record. I'm not making any of this up. Okay, now, I want to tell you about cylinder seal VA243, because in the seal, if you look close enough, you can see that this right here is the sun, and around it are 11 planets. Well, according to Zecharia Sitchin, he believes that that's not the sun, because in those days everything was called planets. So he calls it that there is a 12th planet. And that 12th planet, he invents this whole thing called Nibiru. Now, just to kind of calm you down a little bit, where am I going with Nibiru? Nibiru was supposed to pass planet Earth in 2003. Okay, that was a few years ago. 3 through 15 is 12. So, and yet I get an email a week, Pastor Chris, I hear Nibiru is closer. And, I'm like, where do you start with people? How do you even help? And I try to tell them that keep your eyes on the Bible, not on the Nibiru. But, people who haven't been taught properly, they don't have a clue what's going on. They're really confused. And they're good people. They're not stupid, they're just not well read. And this is what I do. This is my whole life is research. So anyways, readers of Zecharia Sitchin's books, particularly the 12th planet, will recognize the above seal, VA243. So named because it is number 243 in the collection of the Vor Museum in Berlin. So that's a German name, I can't say it. This seal is the centerpiece of Sitchin's theory that the Sumerians had advanced astronomical knowledge of the planetary bodies in our solar system. Well, if I take you to, let me see what my next slide is. Yeah, I'll bring you down to Mike Heiser in just a second. So this knowledge was allegedly given to the Sumerians by extraterrestrials. Now do you see how the Discovery Channel is actually working for this whole Illuminati, which is the priesthood of the Andromeda? Andromeda is simply Semiramis, the Queen of Babylon, because her name in the Greek is Andromeda. And they're the real brains behind the Illuminati. All you know about is the Illuminati. They're not going to tell you about the Andromeda. Those guys are actually part human and part fallen angel. They're the real working Nephilim of today. And they're not the Illuminati. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, people like the 13-member high bloodline, they're just slaves. Everybody, if you're not an Anunnaki, you're just a slave. You get that? You can either be say, okay, I like the God story because he says he created me his image like this and I'm free. And if I'm not free, he'll send Jesus to make sure I am free. On the other hand, you get the Anunnaki story. You are nothing but a slave. You'll never be more than just a bigger, better slave. I'm going to read down the next one. How old is Enlil, Satan, and Enki, Lucifer? Now, I had to go to a chart to do this, so I'll just show what that looks like. History. Okay, this is a history timeline according to Sitchin, who I don't agree with most of the time. But he talks about following this timeline 500,000 years ago. See, it even says 450,000 years ago. And you get all the way down to the bottom. If you just do a search on Enki, then you'll find out he's mentioned 12 times. And we just climb down to the last one. We'll find the last time he, oops, went too far. I think that's it. Well, here he is. It's down here. So the last time he's mentioned is actually around 8,670 years before Christ. Does that make sense? Because I don't see him in here on this timeline. But anyway, let's go back to my thing here. Where's my pointer? Hey, there it is. Thank you, pointer. Okay. Okay, Enki is first seen in the Anunnaki culture around the year 445,000 years before Christ. A son of Anu, and he establishes Eridu, Sumeria, for extracting gold from the waters of the Persian Gulf. Now here's the funny part of the story. The Anunnaki can only survive on their home planet, Jesus Nibiru, because their interiors is being destroyed. And the only thing they'll restore is gold dust. I mean, it's almost like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Anybody think find humor in that whole story? Yeah. Anyway, okay, so he established Eridu, Samaria, for extracting gold from the waters of the Persian Gulf. He is reported by Sitchin around 49,000 years before Christ, when Enki and Nir-Hersag elevated humans of Anunnaki parentage to rule in Shirapok on the Euphrates River. According to the Anunnaki tradition, Enlil plotted mankind's demise with the flood. 8,670 years before Christ. In 2004 BC, Marduk is the last seen marching on summer and enthrones himself as the king of Babylon. And that's BC. So Marduk, Nimrod, we have Semiramis, who's in Andromeda. This is a whole new Anunnaki spin. They changed the story because nobody was buying the old story. They were falling from the biblical story. So they made up this whole new story. So why and how do Enlil, Satan, and Enki's Lucifers live so long, according to Sitchin? They have both been around as stepbrothers for at least 500,000 years on Earth. The fact is they are fallen angels, not aliens. Aliens do not live this long, even with soul-spirit transfer, and reincarnation does not explain it either. When you are supposedly reincarnated, you come back as someone else or an animal. You don't come back as Enki. Christians do not believe or accept reincarnation anyway, as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this to judgment. So we don't even agree with this whole concept of it even being reincarnation or soul transfer. Now, Sitchin is wrong, and I want to show you some of my favorite sites here. Years ago, when I was a speaker at Roswell, I met a man there named Dr. Michael Heiser. He wasn't a doctor yet, but he was still working on it. But what a brilliant man. He really knows his ancient languages, including Akkadian and all these languages we're talking about right now. But he talks about VA 243, and he goes into great detail on how it is that it's just not true. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. This is the myth of the 12th planet, a brief analysis of cylinder seal VA 423 by Michael Heiser. At that time he wasn't a doctor, but now he is. And they show you this picture of this sun with these 11 stars around it. And this is where Zechariah Sitchin got its 12th planet of theology. But Michael Heiser does a really good job of showing you that these symbols over the ages have been mistranslated, but the people who have studied this for hundreds of years, they will actually show you other explanations in the pictures and exactly what those words mean, but more so, they're talking about the sun symbol, because the sun symbol is the sun, and the symbol he's looking at represents the sun, not a planet. Okay, and that's really important to note there. What else can I share here? The Sumerian lexical list and Sitchin's translations. What he will do, though, is he will lead you to the electronic text corpus of the Sumerian literature. This is what all the great archaeologists do, all the great ancient language professors use. And you just go down here and you click on Advanced Search. Oops. Call that one in somehow here. Regional messed up. Okay. So I get this one a little properly. Here. I really like to show you this. That's why. It's not going to cooperate. And I wonder if I'm on the right home logos. Okay, should work. Now I've lost my entire screen. I've done a fine job. So it's not going to cooperate. But let me tell you what it does. You can actually type in the word noon, na, plus the text dn, and it will actually show you what that word means and where you can use it. Aha, there we go. Let's do it. So when you go to the search engine, first you're going to do is I equals a dash noon equals na space t equals dn. Hopefully I typed this in right. Now what it'll do is it'll start to, it said no hits for that, so I must have the wrong letter. So I must type something wrong. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, good. Thank you. It's not working. Anyways, this is what all the archaeological experts in foreign languages use when it comes to Sumerian literature. And if you just type this in properly, and I don't know why I'm having a complication, this is exactly what I typed in before. But if you do it correctly, this will show you every place and what it means and how it happened and all that stuff. I still know. All right, let me go back to my. This is what can happen when you're working with live technology. Okay, so these translations, of course, serve his purposes to see the Nephilim as ancient astronauts. As such, it is hard to overestimate the importance of Sitchin's work here. If he's wrong about the meaning of Nephilim, much of his overall thesis fails. So then I want to go in and talk to you a little bit about Mike Heiser and his concepts about the Nephilim. So Dr. Isaac points out that even the biblically correct theologians have mistranslated the word Nephilim. In the actual Hebrew, it does not mean to fall. Dr. Isaac points out the Hebrew word Nephal doesn't jive with the morphological patterns. The fall of Adam and Eve passed on all humans. 5:12, Romans 5:12. And the Nephilim were not normal humans. They were hybridized beings, humans plus a foreign seed. And so not included in the fall, at least as Romans 5:12 describes. So he goes on, therefore the Nephilim were not human, and they were not fallen angels. They were the giants created by this diabolical union. So most of you've been told the word Nephilim means the fall. But he goes into great detail to show you through morphological studies that this in fact is not the case. And one of the things he does is use the Hebrew like I do. And you notice here he points out the yud. And the yud means that there's a vowel there. And in Old Hebrew, they didn't have vowels. But they added it there so you know it's Nephilim. It's not Nephilim. And so he proves the fact that it's not the fallen ones. But these are completely separate creatures. And I find that a really powerful statement. So, let me conclude with this. First of all, I know this is an awful lot of information. And as a pastor, I don't believe in aliens, although it is possible because who were the Anunnaki? They came from another planet. That's what it says in the Sumerian text, and that's translated by many translators. So the question is Satan or is Enki, Lucifer, capable of genetically messing with things? Well, absolutely. They even claim they did in this book. So what's to say that the Anunnaki weren't messed with? I mean, let's not assume that God created men of the planet so they could come down here in the middle of this fallen planet that's trying to seek redemption and make things even worse. I don't believe that at all. So don't think for a second that Satan isn't clever enough to actually take and clone man, adaptable to another planet within our galaxy, and raise them up there on Luciferian technology and come back here as UFOs. I don't have any problem with that. I think Satan could do that. In fact, I think that's what his story's going to be when he tells you and I this end time resolution, UFO full disclosure. I would like to change that to full UFO spin. Because the only way you're going to know is you need to check their DNA. And if their DNA has anything in that DNA that reflects that it might be human, then it started here, not the other way around. Does that make sense? So I wanted to share this with you. It's all part of my new book, which, let's see if I can find that. Yeah, it's called Satan and Lucifer Decoded. And I'm actually in my third edition now because as I went along, I started sharing this with people. And people would say, well, how can you be the son of Satan and also be the brother of Satan? Well, the complication, of course, is the spin changes. And the spin changes so they can just walk you right into the new world order, which will be abandoned and handed over to Lucifer to be the Antichrist. Yes, Mark.
All of Babylonian and Samaritan hieroglyphs, pictures, has that DNA in there. See, I would think that they would try to mess with the DNA.
There you go. This is my book cover. Okay, I don't understand your point. Right?
All the pictures that you see of them, Anunnaki and man, and then they have the DNA tree right in between them. To me,
Yes.
that would show that they would try to mess with the DNA.
Yes. And I wanted to close with this. I'm going to show you some of the pictures of the Anakin. Well, the Bible says hateful birds in Revelations 18. These are the birds. They actually were not supposed to make models of the Anakin because he against the law. But some people did, and they survived. So we see these models. Also, the pineal gland is very important on my page about the secret knowledge. But that's the pineal gland on the right. You notice how it looks like the eye of Horus on the left? So what were the Egyptians doing? Well, the Egyptians were doing the same thing everybody else was doing. And they're all involved, with hallucinogenics. Here's a picture of, on the left is Enki, on the right are these Sumerian gods. There's one old ancient cliff in Babylonia. Notice the alien. This is one of Enki and Enlil. Enki on the left, Enlil on the right. Again, notice the teapots. The teapots are what? Hallucinogenic tea. Pine cones. Got the pine cones. This is Anu. He's the god that flies around. He's the parent of those two. Here's Anu, Enlil, Enki, and near her side. And notice they always wear hats with horns on them. Again, you can see the Anunnaki on the outside. They're the reptilians. Anu in the top. Here's another one. Notice the fact that they are giants. This one right here is, interestingly enough, is actually found in a different part of the world. There's another one. The screech owl. This is the BA-234. These are actual stones they found. You see reptilians there. Notice the reptilian on the left is from Ecuador. And the reptilian on the right is from Mesopotamia, which is Sumerian culture. How did they get around the earth? This is a skull. This is the actual wall in Babylon. You can see the Anunnaki as a reptilian right there. You see him? There's this man. There's the DNA of man. So that's interesting. That culture, for ever since it started, has been telling you that they created you. Oh, this right here is Prometheus. And he is at the bottom of the New York City building, which is built by Rockefeller. It's one of the Rockefeller Center. Prometheus, notice that he's flying in the middle of the astrology center, which is invented by N.K. Mark. There's the New York building. We're backing into this. So that's only a share on that today. But I just want you to know that this stuff's all there. It's real. It's all part of history. But is it the truth? No, even if they say they did tweak with man's DNA, they did not have the ability to create man, did they? You see, Satan, Lucifer, they don't have creative abilities. They can't create something out of nothing. Only God can do that, and he speaks it to existence. And why did they say in the book over 20 times the creator of all? But they won't tell you who that is. They subscribe it to themselves. So I hope that this information has been helpful, and I'd like to point out too that I have you guys to thank for it because, quite honestly, even though I've studied all this and understand it, I have to admit, I didn't know where you didn't connect, and I'm hoping that this helps. And very shortly, I'll have this book published with the newest information, and you can get it on Kindle for like $3. And you have all the pictures and everything that will be in the book. Which incidentally, I'll do some of these. There's Lucifer. I'm It's funny how people don't realize how important Prometheus is in this new spin. But if you look here, I'm going to make this bigger. Okay. You see here how this picture on the left, that's Prometheus. And where is that? That's in St. Petersburg, Russia. On the right, this is Prometheus, and it's the Rockefeller Center. And then this right here, I think is kind of interesting. This is a picture of Prometheus and the Statue of Liberty standing hand in hand, and that comes from Ukraine. So why all these global Illuminati governments lifting up Prometheus? If you want to see greater evidence, I really recommend that you go to my website. And it's called Secret Knowledge. Just go to Logos. And just go right down here to this section here. Insights. Click on Secret Knowledge of the Ancients. And you'll see how I think the Anunnaki were just a big drug cult, like the cartels. And their whole job is to get you into hallucinogenic drugs, especially marijuana, especially ayahuasca, especially mandrake, especially lilies. And the whole purpose is you can then now have out-of-body experiences. And that's what they meant when they said, you too can be God. And believe me, you can do that stuff so long, you can actually crystallize your pineal gland. I'm going to bring this down here a little bit farther. There's the ayahuasca drugs used all over South America. Now there's the Anunnaki. And look on the right, we have this Mayan. Notice that Enki is holding the pine cone, he's got the teapot, and notice what he has forward. Look over here on the right. This is a Mayan priest. He's got the same thing, only he uses pine cone. He's got the same teapot. And these guys are like 5,000 or more miles apart. I think I actually put down word for word. But notice the pine cone, the pineal gland, which is part of your brain. And it showed how the landing field at Groom Lake, which is in Area 51, is actually designed in the shape of the eye of Horus. And this pine cone court, where's it at? The Vatican. And as you go in here and you look, next cabinet, I know. These are upside down pine cones with pine cones on each side. And if that didn't get your attention, he's wearing 3 pine cones on his chest. You see that? Yeah, and on his crucifix, you can see the pine cone. You know what the peacock stands for? Reincarnation. Astrology. So anyways, I could go through this whole webpage. I encourage you to do so. And it's 12:30. It's time for a pop-up. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming. And if you have any questions, please, I really like questions because I'll just go back and modify so that it's understood better and better and better. Because I really don't think, no one knows the day or the hour. I'm not sure with all these messianic prophecies anything's going to happen. I'm looking more to 11/11/2020 because this country started 400 years ago. And 400 years is a biblical time. That's the amount of time they were in slavery in Egypt, is it not? It's time and distance between Abraham and Joseph. And between the Old Testament and New Testament, 400 years. So it's significant. I think we can look forward to something happening there. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, we ask you to continue to bless this direction, this message, and that we can use this to really have more people understand the whole scheme and wiles of the devil. And then how it is now, even the Catholic Church is involved in this process. So Lord, open our eyes, open our heart, and teach us, and build the character of Christ in us as we are the second generation of charismatics. And I pray in Jesus' name.